Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. You made it to the end of another week and another Advent calendar reveal. So here we are, excited to share with you. Last week we started off our Advent calendar reveals and we only got to open day 1. But today we get to open day 2 through 8. So we're going to have some fun here crafting. I know many of you have been so excited about these items for the past week, and I am so excited to finally hear what you think of them because we've been kind of trying to keep things under wraps, at least on our fan page. So if you hang out there, hopefully you didn't see any spoilers. But today is the day for spoiling all of the secrets that were included in this week's Advent calendar. So welcome. I'm glad you're here, and let me know that you're here. So leave a comment on the live today. Tell me that you're watching. Where are you watching from? What was your favorite gift so far? Let's go ahead with that comment. And I'm going to pull these up here in just a second and start saying hi to some people. But first I wanted to show off my shirt for today. I promised I'm going to wear a different Christmas themed shirt every day or every Friday for the Advent calendar live. So today I'm feeling very joyful in my comfy sweatshirt. Unfortunately, I don't have a link for you guys on this one. I got this one at a vendor fair, and so I'm not sure where it came from. There's no online place to buy it, but yes, I know.
So cute.
Everybody loved the rainbow trees last week, so they were searching out where to find my own rainbow tree shirt. So hopefully,
there's an Etsy seller who's like, "Oh, what's going on with the
yes,
trees?"
I wonder where all these people came from.
I ordered mine.
Did you really?
It comes today.
Oh,
Yep,
Susan got her
seriously.
rainbow trees.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, let's see who is joining us today and who is out there watching. Hello, Paula's here. Susan. More Susans here with you, Susan. Mary's here in Washington. Hello, Jamie. Teresa. Jamie, I get to see you later today. Super excited about that. Sally, hi, welcome. Karen, Debbie's here. Kay, and more Karens. Tracy, Rachel. Awesome. Well, we've got lots of people joining in these lives, so even if you are not if you did not purchase the Advent calendar, you're still welcome to watch this live. Hopefully this is your kind of push to remember to buy an Advent calendar next year if you missed out on this year. We did do a pre-order. I believe it happened back in August, I want to say. And then we had just a few stragglers left for some of our Rainbow Royalty people that may not have gotten in on that, but most of the pre-orders happened in August. So kind of keep that in mind. For next summer, we're going to be doing another pre-order for the Advent calendar. That just makes it so much easier for us to predict the quantities, not have leftovers, not knowing what we're going to do with these things. So yeah, very excited for those of you that got the Advent calendar joining along with us, and I hope that you're finding fun every day in the little goodie that you get to open. So, should we get started? Okay.
They're so cute. Wait till you see.
If you haven't seen yet and you've been waiting to open the gifts along with me, that is an option for you. Obviously, you can open whenever you want. I'm not there to watch over you. Although there was a comment on the Facebook page about Taylor knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. I know lots of you were trying to not open your gifts ahead of time, but I don't know when you open them, so you're welcome to open them whenever. But if you are waiting until Friday to open all of the gifts from the past week, then kudos to you. I think it's fun to open one every day, but we're kind of just waiting to reveal those until the Friday when we can all be together and I can explain the gifts, and then you guys can go talk about them. So feel free to pop onto the fan page and chat about your favorites later on. Maybe somebody can pop in a thread and say what has been your favorite Advent calendar gift this year so far, and we can all chat about those. So first, though, let's go ahead and open them.
Yay!
Okay, Susan's excited.
I'm excited.
Okay, so this is number 2. Let's open it up. This was the big one. This was the big day that I saw lots of people getting very excited about. So this is something we have not done at Tailored Expressions before. It might be something that you've seen in the past or even had as part of your collection in the past. We are going to be talking about wax stampers. So you got this little piece of like an insert. It says, wait, what? A wax stamper? A whole lot of wows are coming your way when you welcome wax accents to your well-crafted wares. This stamper will help you add wonder and whimsy to envelopes, tags, and cards. If only you had more of the pieces to make this work. A little idea of what's to come. So let's go ahead and open this, and if you haven't put your wax stamper together, then now is the time to do it. It has a little cap on the end here, which you're just going to kind of pull off, and you can toss that. You don't need to save that. And then we have the actual wax stamper design piece, and you're going to open that small little bag here and pull out the metal stamper. So this is the part that has the artwork in it, and here's what this one looks like. It's a little wreath that says joy in the middle of it. And we're just going to screw that onto the handle. So here it is. Paula says, I screamed out loud when I opened that one. That's awesome. Who had one of these? Who has had these in the past, or who has these in their collection currently? They are kind of making a comeback, and so I thought it would be fun to put it in the Advent calendar this year. So that is your day 2 gift, the wax stamper. Now let's go to day 3. Yes, we had some fun with the little notes that we included with your with the different days, and so I'm going to read them out loud because they're just fun, and hopefully they made you smile. So day 3 then is the melting spoon. You'll see that we customized these accessories to be Tailor Teal. So you have your teal wax stamper handle, and then you have your teal melting spoon handle as well. And this one says, what in the world? Well, isn't this a pretty piece of cutlery? But don't go sipping soup with this spoon. It's for melting wax. Get ready. Soon you'll feel like you're starring in Bridgerton, crafting by candlelight, sealing love notes, private missives, and invitations to take tea with Lady Whistledown. So any of you who have watched the Bridgerton show, hopefully you kind of understood that, that little note there, but very fun. We're kind of doing something, a little bit of a throwback to some of the crafty things that were done more in the olden days. Everything old becomes new again. Okay, so number 4. We have a wax stamper. We have a melting spoon. What do you think number 4 is? It is a small little votive candle and wax melts. So we decided on wax melts in gold for this particular Advent calendar, but they come in so many different colors. And we would love to know, I would love to know, if you received this Advent calendar, or even if you didn't, if wax stamping is something you would like to see Tailored Expressions expand upon with accessories, more colors, just say more please in the comments. I'm going to be looking and seeing how many of you are super excited about this wax stamper kind of trend, and hopefully it is something we can continue if we have enough people that are super excited about doing this. I love to put spins on products that are kind of tailor spins. So I'm excited to explore this if you guys are excited about it too. So just go ahead and leave a comment that says more please if you are excited about maybe wax melts in different colors. I don't want to spoil all the fun, but I have lots of ideas for accessories. Okay, good. Well, let's read the little note that comes along with this. How to wax. The moment has come. So we're going to go through these different steps here in a little bit, but I want to make sure I read the bottom here. Tune into Taylor's live video on Friday for inspiration. Please play with fire responsibly. So yes, Erin here in our office writes these little notes, and they always make me giggle, so hopefully they gave you a smile too. All right, we are going to go on to number 5. This one is thin. Let's peel it open and see what we got here. We have a set of dies. So these dies are actually different. One of them curves to the right and the other curves to the left. You have 2 of these leafy sprigs, and we're going to be using these quite a bit in the project that we're going to create today. So you will want to keep that out and by your side if you're crafting along with me. Number 6. Number 6, also thin.
You might need to bring in a drum.
Before I pull it out, each one needs a drum roll, yes. All right, so number 6, we have some pre-cut craft colored tags. These are not a Tailored Expressions die. They are actually made from a little bit sturdier material than our typical 100-pound cardstock. They've got the holes already punched in them, and you guessed it, we are going to make tags today. So as we put this advent calendar together, we really try to think about each week as a collection of products that can be used together to create a project. So we're going to be using these for our project today. Number 7. Here we go. Perfect for our tags today. We have this cute little stamp set that has a couple of different to from options. One stamp that says handmade with love, and then a just for you. So I'm going to show you lots of ways to incorporate those into the designs with the sprigs and the wax melts and all the fun stuff. Okay, so this is number 8. Up next,
I love
Susan's
7.
very
I love 7. I just love the image, the font work.
Yes, those fonts are really pretty. All right, up next we have a little bit thicker envelope. What could it be? It is a new color of embossing powder. So this one is called Champagne. If I open it up here, you can see, well, actually, this one hasn't been opened yet. So I'm going to open mine and show you guys. So it looks kind of like a creamy, a little bit more of a creamy white color just in the jar. But when we put this out and heat it, I'm going to show you here. I've got one sample. I used the Tailored Expressions swatch dots on these, but I have one sample on sugar cube and one on toffee. And if I get it put up into the light just perfectly, you can see how it shimmers like a champagne colored embossing powder. We might not actually use this and heat it, but I did use it on several of my samples, so you'll get to see this on some other colors as well. But I just have the sugar cube cardstock and the toffee here to show you. So pretty. All right, and last but not least, we have envelope number 9. This is not for our project today, but this is something, you know, we all love a little gift that lets us choose something for ourselves. And so that's what this one is. And I have covered up the coupon code here. Thankfully, I thought of that ahead of time. But here is your coupon for a free mini ink cube of your choice. So maybe you have our ink cubes and there's a particular color you use a lot and you want to grab an extra. Maybe you travel and you want an extra for your travel bag. But this will get you any ink cube, free mini ink cube of your choice. You just need to add that ink cube to your cart and then put in the coupon code when you check out, and it will deduct that amount from your total. So there you are. The next 7 days of the Advent calendar have been revealed. Now you can all keep telling me what your favorite is. Anna says she needs a new Oreo ink cube, so that's perfect. All right. I'm going to move these out of the way, and we're going to get started crafting. I'm going to show you my samples, and then you've probably guessed what we're going to be doing today. It's very therapeutic, I would say. Do you think so, Susan?
Yes.
Once you get started, you just want to keep going. That has been my experience.
Nope. You're like, do them all.
Yeah, I had to hold back because I only have so much wax here. So I couldn't go and make all of my wax seals right away because I needed to do this with you guys on Friday. Okay, so I did, in the little package with the tags, there were 8 tags, and so I went ahead and made up all 8 of them in some different ways using the supplies and adding some other supplies as well. So I'm just gonna kind of hold them up here so you guys can see. We have Handmade with Love on that one. Then here, this one's one of my favorites, has the wax seal on it. You can see the pretty joy there. I think we'll make this one today. I have all the supplies out, so I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants on what actually gets put together on the live, but I want to make sure I show you guys all the samples. So this one we have a stencil that says joy, and then you can see that kind of matches the joy in the wax seal. Then this one uses the champagne embossing powder on red cardstock and those sprigs in kind of a little different orientation. I'm going to show you all the stencils that I used because I had fun picking out some favorites to go with this theme. And then we've got this one, another one in a similar orientation, but here I put a wax seal in the center and here I just stamped onto cardstock. This was a favorite. This is the one Whitney said was her favorite. So a couple of sprigs on there, a just for you, and she loves that stencil that I used at the bottom. So we'll talk about that as well. This one, I think this was my first one because I stamped 2 on the front of it. And then Susan and I talked about tags and she said, I kind of like to put my to and from on the back of my tags. And so this is the only one that has the 2 on the front. Kind of personal preference, but I liked that thought to put the 2 and the from on the back. And then last but not least, we have this simple one. I used this layout several times where I have the sprigs kind of coming out each end of the circle. Some of the sprigs I splattered. Let me pull a few up in here. So some of them I splattered with white, bleed-proof white. Some of them, like this one, I used my detail blender brushes to add a little bit darker color accent to the sprigs. And on some of them, I used Olo marker to accent the little leafy sprigs. So there's lots of different ways you can add dimension and texture to the leafy sprigs. And I think we're just gonna start crafting away. We're gonna start wax sealing. So let me get out I have my melting spoon here, and it's still got a little bit of wax in it. It's okay to let your wax kind of harden inside of the melting spoon. And then I'm gonna need my wax stamper. I am going to need my votive candle, which mine is a little bit burned already. But I also have my teal lighter. So when I went to create these, we don't have a lighter in the office. And so I was asking everyone, would you have a lighter? Nobody had a lighter. And so Gloria from our shipping department actually went out on her lunch break and bought me a teal lighter, which I thought was so sweet. So I'm using my very own mini teal lighter for the live today from Gloria. So we'll just go ahead and get this candle. Uh-oh.
Oh. Did you mess with it too many times, Taylor?
Okay, I just had a mini panic attack because I thought if we don't have something to light this candle, I cannot continue with this live. Okay, so...
Susan would make a mad dash.
I know, Susan would be off to the gas station while I tried to fill 10 minutes of time with nothing. All right, so thankfully that happened. I've got my candle lit. Now I'm going to pull in my wax melts here, and I'm actually going to just dump them out on my surface. And I like to get everything kind of set up in front of me so that I'm ready to go. The other thing you're going to need is some type of surface to pour your melted wax onto. I tried a couple different things. There are obviously lots of things that could work. I am going to be using the Tailored Expressions Embossing Pad Kit. So this is a silicone mat, which is really what you need. Some type of silicone to release that wax once it's dried. You can also use parchment paper if you have that. I know Waffle Flower has a mini media mat that works great for melting or pouring melted wax onto, but just something that's going to release that wax piece after it dries. So I am going to start with 3 wax melts in here. And we're just going to hold that spoon over the top of our flame until the wax melts. So I'll get in a little bit closer so you guys can watch the wax melt. It is going to take a little bit of time for the spoon to warm up, but obviously the more that you do, the faster it goes because your spoon is already heated. And like I said earlier, wax melts come in, I mean, any color. We can give them a Pantone and they will make that color. So that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about exploring with this collection, if we keep it going with all of your more pleases. Yeah, but you can do so much with colored wax, different colors of wax. There are different techniques you can do, kind of scraping the designs away and getting dual colored wax seals. So I'm just excited to,
play with fire some more.
To play with fire. Here we go, we're melting. And there are also other accessories. So obviously this is just your taste of the wax seals in this small advent calendar, but there are other accessories. There's a stand that your votive goes into so that you don't have to do like I'm doing, which is hold the spoon over the top of your flame while it melts. You'll have a stand to kind of set that in, and once it's melted, then you can remove it and pour it. Susan, I need a dye pick, and it's out of my reach.
Yep.
Thank you.
I started to think about that. So did we bring a dye pick in for you?
Kimberly, I love how you're thinking. She says a wax stamper that says share joy. Love that. All right, so this is looking melted now, so I'm going to take my dye pick and kind of swirl it in there just to make sure all of that wax is melted. And when that dries on the dye pick, you can just kind of flick it off. Now we're going to take our little spoon and we're going to pour the wax onto the silicone mat here. And I'm going to pour all of it. I probably should have gotten some paper towels or something too, because I don't want to get, if I get any of this wax on the side of my, there we go. I just wanted to wipe that little bit of wax off the side of my spoon. Now, once you pour your wax out onto your surface, I like to wait, like count to 10, 15-ish, 1001, 1002. Gives it a little time to solidify, because if you do it right away, it tends to really spread on you. So this gives it just a little bit of time to get slightly hard. And then I'm just going to hover that wax stamper over the top and set it down into the wax.
Do you want a paper towel for future? Are you good with that?
I think I'm good. And now we wait. So now we need to go ahead and do a few more.
Someone asked how you clean the spoon.
I've just been using like the wax from the inside of the spoon or the bottom. You can see I do have some soot on the bottom of my spoon, which I do think is unavoidable. Even if you're high up above, it's probably just gonna at least darken a little bit. I've just been using a baby wipe while it's still warm.
I use a paper towel, but
okay.
The key is to do it while it's warm.
Yes.
Not hot, obviously.
And cleaning the inside of the spoon,
Only, well, it's only for if you want to change
if you want to change color.
And as long as it's hot, you can wipe that
Yes. Just be careful if it's hot because it is, you know, hot metal. So.
Yeah, she was wanting to know how you get the wax out of the spoon.
Okay,
but
yeah.
since you only have one color, you haven't had to.
I know, I haven't had to do that yet, but just melt it, and then wipe it out.
With the paper towel is the best.
Yes. Yeah, I know that from my my Scentsy pot days. You know, I have one of those melting wax pots. And I'm always wiping them out with paper towels when I want to switch scents. I know some people have asked about mailing these, like actually using them as an envelope seal, and it is not recommended to do that. So we're kind of using these on cards and tags and that kind of thing, but I have heard from others who have attempted to mail, and they typically get ripped off of the envelope.
My daughter received one and it mangled the whole envelope.
Okay. All right, so I'm right-handed, so I got to switch my spoon. We're going to pour this out again. Get all the wax out of there. And then I'm going to say 1001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to drop that wax stamper on top again. I'm not quite letting it go until I can feel it kind of settle into the wax. So here's the one we did before.
And this live was brought to you by Sesame Street.
Counting. All right. And you can kind of just peel it up off of the surface. You can even get under it with your, I don't want to disturb this one, so I'm trying not to make a huge deal about getting this off. It's not tough to get off, but I would probably like to be able to pick up my thing and kind of bend it, but I don't want to pick it up with my other wax piece over here. So here's what that one looked like. Now you can see I got some wax that came around the edge on these sides, but not all the way up here. If you like that wax that goes all the way around the edge, which I did get on this one, there could be a couple of different things you could try. So on this one, I think I got to talking a little bit and the wax, it hardened just enough that it didn't want to seep out through all the edges. So maybe don't count a little less or give it less time. And then the other thing you can do is add an additional wax melt. So I'm using 3 in my little spoon, and I have a little bit of excess left over from the previous one. If you're starting brand new, you could throw in 4 wax melts, and if you've got a little bit of extra down in the bottom, then you can maybe try just 3. Looks like everybody's talking about what they what they used to do with their wax seals, and they've still got the wax in their stationery box from years ago.
Doesn't go bad, so yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, so somebody else was asking, she missed the little mat that I'm pouring on. So this is just our Tailored Expressions embossing pad kit. It doesn't ruin it if you pour this wax on it, so you can still use it for its intended purpose, but it is just a silicone mat, so it works great for this purpose here. I'm gonna do one more. How about I peel this one off while we're waiting?
It's just so fun. You can't stop.
It is, I know. Let's say you get one that you're not happy with, and I'm gonna show you because I've been making these for a while now, and I have some mess ups, and it's okay to mess up. It's not a waste because, okay, here, I'm going to bring in one of my mess ups. I think this was one of the ones where I didn't have enough wax in my melting spoon, and so I just didn't like the way that looked. But what you can do is just take this and put it right back in your melting spoon, melt it down, and re-pour the wax. So gotta love that, right? It's kind of like paper. When you make a mistake, you just turn it over. There's two sides. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stir this up. Stir it one more time. It wasn't quite as melty as I wanted it before. All right, and we'll go ahead and pour this out. Are you helping answer questions? Because I'm not sure I'm
trying to,
seeing all of them, but
I think they're mesmerized.
Somebody asked, do you push the stamp down or just set it on the wax? You just set it on the wax, and it will get away from you. It's sort of like stamping on acetate. If you think about it that way, acetate tends to like want to take the stamp and move it. That's kind of how this is. When you're setting this down, you want to keep holding on to it until you feel the stamp kind of hit the surface of your little mat. And it might take you one or two tries to kind of get used to that. I just hover over the top and then slowly, gently set it down into the wax. And that one, this might be one that I don't like so well because I didn't quite get as I was setting it down, it shifted a little bit to the right here. So I have more spilling out over on the left side than I do on the right side. This time, did I say I was only going to do one more? Well, I want to do another one. I'm going to try 4 wax melts this time.
The one question is, they asked if it's the seal and everything will be released on our website, but that really depends on if you expand.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have plans to release this particular wax stamper, but if we do come out with additional collection, then that would expand with different wax melt colors, accessories, new stampers, all that kind of stuff. Bonnie said, oops, I just set a nearby paper towel on fire.
Oh, no.
Well, I shouldn't laugh, but I'm guessing you caught it. I laughed because that reminded me of the first Thanksgiving that John came to have Thanksgiving dinner with our family. And my mom has always been she sets the table to the nines. So there's like beautiful like napkins, and she put little votives next to every place. And John, being the funny guy that he is, decided to set his napkin in the votive and set it on fire. So anyway, it was obviously, he caught it before, it erupted the whole table, but it's just a funny memory that we continue to bring up about the time John made a great impression on the family.
But he stuck around.
He's still here.
He stuck around.
All right, so I'm gonna start kind of stirring this, but it's not quite heated enough. I wanted to try one with an extra little wax melt in there and see if I get maybe a better centered seal. This one over here has been the most perfect so far. But just like stamping, it's not about perfection, right, Susan?
No. We're having fun. It's all good.
So I'd say when you're, we kind of talked about this when we were doing this together the other day. You don't want your wax to be boiling, but you also don't want it to be like hard to stir. If you see steam coming off of it, it is definitely warm enough. And when your dye pick goes through it easily, then you know it is ready. All right, let's go ahead and pour this one. As long as you keep your metal spoon in about the same spot as you're pouring, you don't need to kind of move it around as you're pouring. Just kind of keep it in the same place and you should get a pretty good circle. All right, there's that one. Like I said, I got more on this side than the other side. This one I think is definitely gonna have too much wax. But now I know, because I've tried. So this one got a little bit of an oblong shape, I think because I had a little too much wax in there. So I think 3 wax melts is great for if you've got a little bit of extra in there. 3 more works great. If you're just starting out on your first wax melt, try 4. Okay, I'm gonna back you guys out and we're gonna start creating tags now because I've got enough little seals to work with. Peel the, I told you could just kind of get the wax off of this little die pick here. And I can blow out my candle. Don't need to be setting my hair on fire. Or a paper.
That would be real bad.
Or a paper towel. And I've still got quite a few wax melts left. See if I can get this one up off the surface here. They're pretty sturdy once they're solidified, so you don't have to really worry about breaking them in half. I mean, you could if you were really trying. Let's see if I can get this out of the way here while it finishes. Okay, we've got our dies then that I need to die cut, so let's work on that part next. I'm going to bring in the little sprig dies and my die cut machine. And I'll show you some different ways you can accent those. I'm using sweet basil cardstock. Grab my die cut machine here.
Do you want your bitty one?
Oh, that's okay. I got it. We'll run this through a few times. So yes, that's a good idea. Thinking ahead to more accessories. Someone asked if a circular mold would work for pouring the wax into, and that would be another one of my ideas for an accessory to add to this collection. So it sounds like stay tuned is what I should be saying, because everybody's already on board with more wax seals.
Subscription has been thrown around.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that could be fun.
Subscription 2024.
Should I tell, well, I won't tell them what it is, but I will tell them that we have decided on our subscription for 2024. Not that we can't have more than one.
You spelled the T, so that's up to you.
All right, so let's see if I can get maybe 2 more out of here. Jamie is reminding me that they really aren't supposed to be perfect, which is true. That's what gives them character and the handmade effect. If they look too perfect, then they'll just look like you bought them at the store. Okay, so we've got a few little sprigs here, and as I mentioned, they curve in different opposite directions so that you have the ability to do something like this, where maybe you want to overlap the sprigs and place a wax seal over them, something like that. Looks pretty. Or tie a little bow to kind of put those sprigs together. I'm going to take my brand new detail blender brush, and we're going to do a little blending on these with some sweet basil ink. Allow me to get in the smallest parts of the die cut here, which I love. And then you can take that detail from the base of each leaf, hold it up here, you can see it better, and get some of that darkening effect. So I'm going to do that on all of them. Get you guys in a little bit closer here.
Did you mention what color your cardstock was?
I used sweet basil cardstock with sweet basil ink, so I'm doing kind of a tone-on-tone effect. But with the detail blender brushes, you can really get some good depth with the same color ink and cardstock.
Someone's asking if parchment would work for those seals, and we had that discussion that maybe. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I had said earlier that I think they can use parchment. Wax paper would probably be a no, because it has wax in it, and then you're using wax, so it's just going to kind of meld together. But you could use parchment paper as well. Or even if you have like a silicone baking sheet that you use for cookies, that's another one. Okay, how come I only have 5? Here it is, up here. He ran away from me. So after we blend these little guys, I'm going to throw them in my splatter box, and we're going to add some white splatter to them because I think it just gives them that kind of Christmassy look, like they're maybe sprinkled with snow. And, oh, I should tell you guys the good news. Guess what arrived yesterday? For those of you who pre-ordered, the magnetic glass boards are here. The large magnetic glass boards. So our team will be getting those out next week. So you can keep an eye out for that. I don't usually wipe up my space with a tissue, but in a pinch, that'll work.
Sorry.
I'm just all out of sorts over here. I don't have my rag or... Okay. Let me grab my splatter box. First, I will get my Dr. Martin's bleed proof white out with my paintbrush. And I don't have any water.
Oh,
you see if there's...
Yep, right here.
Put a little bit of that medium on the acrylic block and then take a couple drops of water from my eyedropper here and mix that together. Now we'll go get my box. Okay. It's getting very splattery in this box, Susan. We've been using it a lot. White splatter, black splatter, gold splatter.
As long as it's dry, it doesn't matter.
No, it just makes it prettier. Okay, so there we go with our little sprigs. I'm going to get my paintbrush here. And we'll just pick up some of that medium and splatter it onto the sprigs. Might have to get some more in there. Heather would be proud of me, Paula says. Yes. I have definitely splattered more than I did before Heather started working with us.
I'm trying. I'm on the struggle bus.
Yeah, Susan's still not a splatterer. I don't know.
I try. There's something I'm failing at.
I feel like we need to work together on this.
Yes. It doesn't seem that hard.
I don't feel like splatter is something you can be bad at.
Yeah.
Susan says she's bad at it, though. All right, so here's what those look like after they're splattered. Like I said, just a nice little extra added dimension to those. They look like kind of snow-kissed. We'll let those dry up here, and we're going to do some stenciling then on these tags. So I'll go ahead and punch this out, and I'm going to show you the stencil set that I mostly used for these. I did some of my tags with sugar cube ink, and then I did some, let's see if I can find one here. I did some of them with toffee ink. So some of them are more of a tone-on-tone look, and then others have the bright white in them. And I used a variety of stencils. So some of the larger stencils that I used, this one is called Polka Party, and this is the one that I made with that. It's one of them. I guess I made two with Polka Party. This is the other one. So on this one, I blended with toffee ink first, and then I shifted it and blended with sugar cube ink, and so you get that little bit of a shadow. And then this one on the left is just sugar cube ink. So that's Polka Party. Then I wanted to do like just a really bold stripe. So I grabbed this, I believe this is the 1/2 inch. Yeah, this is the 1/2 inch stripe stencil, and I blended that at a diagonal, tone on tone, with this one. So I love a bold stripe. It makes it look very modern. So that's what I used on that one. And then I think the rest of my tags I used stencils from this set. So this is our Stencil Strips Holiday, and they come sized perfectly for small items like tags. Initially they were designed as a border, but they can actually, many of them can be repeated. If you wanted to do joy all the way up your card or your tag or your card, you could do it that way. So that one is the one that says joy. This one is Whitney's favorite, which is kind of the Christmas sweater pattern with the little reindeer, little Nordic pattern. This one is the large snowflake. So here's that one. And then this one as a reminder that I did with that. And then here's the joy tag. And then there's one more. I did the striped one, just using it on half of the tag here and masking the other half so that you have that tone-on-tone stripe on half of your tag. So let's do, this was one that I really wanted to do with you guys. And then I think we'll do this one too. So we're gonna do one with the waxed seal, and then we're gonna do one without, with just the sentiment from the stamp set. So we'll start with the stencil here. This is the stencil strip that I'll be using. And I want to center that first snowflake centered at the bottom with the sides kind of cut off there. And I am going to tack this down so that it stays there for me. Get a couple pieces of my teal tape. Kathy, I need those stencils today.
I'm attaching the link.
Well, unless you live in Ankeny, I don't think today is probably going to work out unless you want to come pick them up. But I am happy to say that our shipping team is caught up and we are, ready to ship your order whenever you place it. Okay, so I've got my sugar cube ink and my blending sponge. We're just gonna pounce over the top of this. And Whitney just re-inked our sugar cube ink pad for us, Susan. So this is nice and juicy, and I don't have to try very hard to get these snowflakes blended.
That's awesome.
It's the end of the year. She said she's got a couple times a year where she re-inks all of our pads, and so this was. I know she has like a schedule. Seriously, everyone needs. Everyone needs this. Okay, so then we're going to shift this slightly. Actually, I'm going to come over here where I can see a little bit better. We are shifting this so that these two snowflakes fall in between these three snowflakes. And then we'll blend those. Maybe what we need is, there's all these lists and stuff out there for like cleaning schedules. We need like a stamp room specific schedule for when you're supposed to do things, like clean your acrylic blocks every month. What's
Maybe
another?
we should have a
Re-ink
first
your
of the month
pads.
thing you're
Yes, like your list of things that you should do.
Like when you turn the clock back, you replace your batteries in your fire.
Yes, yeah, we need one of those for crafty people. Isn't that a great idea?
Yes.
We all know how to do it. It's just remembering to do it. And I think about my father-in-law. He is so meticulous about, changing the oil and changing the filters in the house. And he's got these lists in the garage of when you do these things. And then
Who has this list?
my father-in-law. I know. And so he's passed this on to John, kind of. Not quite in the same meticulous way, but John's got reminders in his calendar then on when he needs to do, like, fill the tires with air. And, oh yes, it's a big thing. Winterize the boat. Has a date every year. You do it on that date.
Wow. I'm definitely not that organized.
Yeah, me neither. I think everybody knew that, though, because I just talked about how Whitney re-inks my ink pads for me.
I was going to say, I put air in my car tires when the light comes on.
Other people are talking about the Whitney would be happy to create that list. Jamie says.
She just got volunteered.
Yeah. All right, we're almost there.
I'm going to give everyone an ask me how I know. You know how you're pouncing with that applicator?
Yeah.
Do not pounce and twist or rub.
Oh.
I did it the other day and made it all seeped under my stencil. So definitely just pounce like you're doing.
Okay, good. Good
Sorry.
to know. Yes.
It's just an ask because I literally screwed up those polka dots the other day. So had to throw them out, start over.
Well, thank you for taking one for the team and sharing with everyone so we can avoid the same. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and center. No, I'm not going to center the joy. I want to see 2 full joys. And let's go with 4 rows of joy. More joy, the better. Whoops. I'm doing my best to avoid over blending at the top here, but if that makes you nervous, you can mask that off. But we've talked about this a lot in the recent days. I live on the edge. Sometimes
we just visit.
Yes, Susan and her people visit me occasionally, but I live there.
That was from last week.
Was it just last week?
Yeah, last Friday, I think.
What was I doing last week that I was living on the edge? I don't know. Probably not taping down my dies or something along those lines. All right, so there's the joy. And sometimes living on the edge turns into teachable ask me how I know moments. All right, we've got our last one here. And I have lots of tags. I should say thank you to our live watching audience. Because you are here to watch me do things, I have a reason to make lots of things. So I have lots of tags to use this year.
And they're beautiful.
These might be my favorite ones though. All right. We did 3. That's enough. And I'll go ahead and wash this surface again. This time I'll grab a baby wipe. There is something that I love about a squeaky clean noise. And it's so satisfying to wash this glass board.
Yes.
Whitney and Susan were in here this morning and we were kind of cleaning up from a recent craft session, and I said, okay guys, I just washed 5 stencils and I enjoyed it. And that is all thanks to the alcohol and not the alcohol in my system, the alcohol spray bottle and the glass board. As I said that out loud, I thought that probably sounded bad, thanks to the alcohol.
We all know.
Okay, so we were gonna make this one and this one. I did just end up blending this one so you guys could see that, but we're gonna go ahead and pick out my seal. This one looks pretty good. I'm gonna position it kind of right over the top. Now we talked a lot about what to adhere these little seals with, the wax seals. You want something pretty sticky. A glue dot is a great option. I thought about hot glue for a hot second, and then I thought, well, you're putting hot glue on the back of something that melts, so probably not on the hot glue. But that brought up another option, and these little foam strips, we have our 1x3 thin foam strips. They're very thin, but they give just a little bit of dimension to them. And our foam adhesive rolls, these rolls of foam tape, these are like construction grade products, and so they hold so tightly. I've actually brought them home to do home projects before. John's asked me, what kind of adhesive do you have that would work for this? And this one fills the need quite often. Recently our outdoor lights were rattling and he needed some type of like foam product that he could put in between the glass layers that were rattling. And so I brought this home and he put it in there and
Worked great.
it was perfect. So, but it is strong enough to just place on the back of the seal. It doesn't give it a lot of extra dimension. And then you can pop that on your project. So that's what I'm using, but glue dots are another great option as well. All right, let's get this tag out then. The little circles that I cut on a lot of my tags, that is from this set. Susan might have to look up the exact name for me, but I think it's called Stitched Frame Stacklets 3 or something along those lines, or
I'm getting there.
Frame Stacklets. Anyway, it's the smallest one in this set. We released these because they work great for shaker cards because they create that outer frame that you can cover with acetate and put shaker bits in the middle. But I just love this size. It was perfect for these little tags. All right.
I just have it, sorry. Stitch frame stacklet 3.
Yes! Is that what I said?
I don't know.
I think I did say that.
Too busy looking.
Stitched frame stacklets 3 is that circle. Okay, so I'm going to grab the Just For You stamp off of this little clear stamp. And I'm going to position that kind of as far over to the right as I can because I want to use those sprigs on the left side. And if you feel more comfortable with your Misty, then by all means, you set it up in your Misty. Okay, so I'm going to put these 2 layers together, turning them over, and then I want to adhere them together. So in order to do that, it does make it a little bit difficult when the inside and the outside frame are kind of nested together like this. There is no overlap to adhere them together. So what I like to do is cut a few strips of the foam here. Without cutting myself. Don't need any injuries this holiday season. And then I just take and overlap the 2 with a piece of foam tape so that they stay together. All right. Oh, usually three strips and then 1 in the middle is what I go for, but I could even fit 4 on this one, I think. We'll go 1 more around this side. I didn't even pay attention to how long I wax melted for, so we're running over time.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
We're having so much fun.
I know. Well, hopefully everyone else is too.
I don't know, earlier you asked what our favorites was, and I keep changing my mind. I just love them all. They're going to have to be mine for this year.
I know. They are fun. I know. You do such a great job of making your tags.
Well, because I don't make Christmas cards, so don't give me any credit. While you're peeling off the back, I do make tags for everyone's gifts, and my sister always keeps them and then uses them as ornaments the next year.
Aww.
That's another reason why I put the 2 from on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Don't say that, but yeah. My sister told me that, and I was like, oh, great. Now I feel pressure.
Right.
That my tags have to be cute enough
like
to go
tree
on the
worthy.
tree. Yeah. For the shaker tag last year, so.
Oh, wow. All right, so I'm going to position these little sprigs kind of off to the side here. Now here's what I like to do after I get them positioned. I'm going to take a little bit of the Post-it labeling tape and I'm going to pick them up so that they stay in the position that I want, and I can easily add my liquid glue to the back without trying to hold on to them. Now the kind of top part of this is going to hang off of my tag, so I really only want to put adhesive here-ish. Get some underneath so that it all sticks down. Oh, well, that didn't go as planned. There we go. Okay, so we'll turn this back over again, and I can pop that down. Right about here. Now on my original, I did add a couple other little things, like a little bow here. I've got some burlap twine that I'll use to tie them onto the gifts, but all in all, that is the tag there with the little sprigs. Now to finish this one off, I'm gonna just put a drop of glue in the center of all of these snowflakes, and we're gonna make it pop with some glitter drops. And I think if you haven't used almost a whole bottle of red glitter drops this season, then there might be something wrong with your cards. Just teasing, but that has been my experience. These little drops have been on so many things for me this year, and I love them. They just add that extra special touch. Almost there. Gotta keep turning them over, make sure I have the right side up before I pick them up. And I might be one short. Oh no, I have enough. So simple, and that little bit of red in the center of each of those snowflakes adds so much. I love this one. Put those back in my little star here. All right, you guys, I am going to bring in all of the tags that I created once again. So if you do want a screenshot, I know everybody always asks, will I post these on the fan page? And I always say yes, and then I just want everyone to know that 800 things happen between the time that I say, yes, I will do that, and then when I go to bed at night and I think, oh, I didn't do that. Yeah. So I have the best intentions, but please take your screenshot now and know that at some point in the future, I will remember to do this, likely with Whitney's help, now that she's heard me say that I am forgetful. Was that it? I think that was it.
Join you next Friday?
Oh, there's one more. I forgot this one. Oh, I mean, was that it for the number of tags that I had made? I think this is all of them. Lots of ideas there. All right. And now it's time to say farewell for this week. And I get to see you next week. All right, you guys, thanks for coming today. I hope you had a good time. I hope you loved the Advent calendar this week. I am once again excited to join you next week for our Advent calendar live. Same time, same place, next Friday. And then we will open gifts, what is it, 10 through?
9. Start with 9.
9? We opened 9 today? No, we didn't. We opened 8 today.
Today is the 8th.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of discussion about that. That's why I'm quick on that one.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're opening 9 through what then? I don't know.
15.
9 through 15 next week. Thank you for helping me with all the dates.
Yes, it's hard. It's hard.
Yes. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. I will see you Tuesday, and if I don't see you Tuesday for the release, then hopefully I'll see you next Friday for the Advent calendar reveal. All right, have a good one. Bye.